Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It is December. We are in the last month of 2022, and I am very upset with you all because I thought that you would all be responsible when I let you play alone. You know, I was I was bullish. I was bullish. I was bullish. I was bullish. I was again I was bullish, and we were snaking around that 35 as we went to Powell. We continued to respect that 39, 30, 39, 35, and we got Powell. And we got the Bulls control when they took over 39.80. And then we got the push up there to that 40.12 where we had that gap down from the weekend. And we went through that gap and we went right up to the old gap from back here on the September CPI gap. And we had that and we were there and it was 2:30 and it was going into 3 o'clock. And I thought I could, trust you and let you play alone. And you all go and fucking give Molly to Jay Powell, and you wind up way up here. We're up in the CPI gap up here. We broke that 200-day moving average right there, right around 3:15 in the afternoon. But I just from looking at this 1 minute chart alone and how I preach charts, 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 you can see here how the algorithm of the market had the same chart that I have. Your 39.55, that's where it kept trying to trap everybody on the bull bear side. When we did get up to 39.80, you see we had that little bit of retracement down, and they were again trying to just entice everybody into it. We got up here onto that Friday gap, and we started playing around. Then we went up to the old gap and the old highs, we started playing around. And then as we came down, touched down right where the gap had finished, and then you guys just took it from 3 o'clock in that final hour that you'd made. You guys were bullies to the shorts. You were such bad bullies to the shorts that come over here on the VIX. The VIX had to go over here and cry as it went down into that gap. But then it was still climbing back up to that 2102 because it was saying, ha ha, the bulls, they're all punch drunk. They're all going out there and they're all buying 4,100 calls and 4,200 calls. Wait until they see what we've got in store for them. And then you went over there onto the NASDAQ. And again, that NASDAQ, I did my best. I honestly did. I'm not joking now. I did do my best because I was the one that said there on Monday that the best position to be in heading into Jerome Powell, in my opinion, are those 287 calls on QQQ. And they were under $1 on Monday. And these things just got spanked on Tuesday. They got absolutely destroyed. And even here when Jerome Powell traded, I remember I was looking up at them. They were trading at like 20 cents. So I started getting messages from everybody saying, what do I do? What do I do? How do I get out? How do I get out? Knowing that you only had 2 hours left, I was giving my best professional advice. You're running out of time. It's a recovery position. You kind of just got to make the best of the advantage and take what it's worth. Because again, go here onto the SPY or onto the SPX, we were at levels that should have held. And that's exactly what did not happen. And instead, again, having all the respect in the world for the outcome of this video game, which is fantastic, right up to that 294.34 pivot, and that's where it ended. Unbelievable though that those QQQs went to $6.50. Unreal. Those 287 calls that I said, or sorry, the three, what was it? The 397 calls at $1 that I said was a great lotto for Powell. They closed at 1067. But most importantly, for me, most importantly, was what happened over there on the spreads. Those spreads were free money. And I will continue to preach that free money because, again, 900% trade, the 287's a 500, 600% trade. Great, fantastic, grand slam home runs, bases. They happen in baseball. They do happen. But base hits will always continue to get you on base. Base hits will always raise your batting average up. Base hits will always continue to add in the long run to the total number of runs scored. And yesterday was absolutely amazing. Every one of the spread trades played out. Every single one of them, and even got better payout because we were having that big jacked up uh, pricing on the IV. All the prices were all jacked up because everybody on FinTwit, everybody was bearish. Everybody was bearish. So again, I really don't have that much to go over today because you ended the month yesterday, so fantastic. But we ended the month up 4.5%, 382 points, smallest month of the year. And right there, 4080, we opened up the month at 3902. More importantly, where we are over here on your futures. On the NASDAQ, we came up to that 12,076.50. This is Trump's to pay. This is the February 2016 low, all the way up to the Obama high in September of 2018, all the way down to, up to Trump's September 2018 high, down to the Christmas of 2018 low. It's a very wide wave, and we came right to that 1206.50 and tagged it. It lines right up with your 𝐂𝐀𝐋𝐋𝐒 294.50. You come over here onto the ES, and we went right to Putin's balls, right to the Russian invasion low that we placed there back in February earlier this year, right to it. And again, because of how quickly we did this, I'm looking for us to go down. I'm not looking for us to completely tank, but again, bring you back over onto the charts. I'll do this one with you. This has not changed. 286.50 continues to be the drop down low level now that since it was so long resistance. That's the drop down level over on the 𝐂𝐀𝐋𝐋𝐒. Coming over here onto the SPX, I will go ahead and adjust this. This now goes to 4080.11, which is to yesterday, which is on the 30th, and that will move up to, bam, 39.90. I've got to widen this a little bit to get the other one. I've got to widen this a little bit more to get the other one. Right here, this is coming off of the October lows, and we are 4080.11, and that was yesterday. And that 23.6 now moves up to 39.41. So again, with the 200-day moving average being there, with this gap having been jumped into from September, this gap is now filled. I can remove this. Our drop down support level is again down to that 39.50 area. And when we get down to that 39.50 area, you better call your mom, you better call your brother, you better call your next door neighbor, and you better call all of those people that you still connect with high school and tell them that they better be ready and start getting in positions to start buying some calls heading into the end of the year. 39.50, that's your alarm right there. 39.50, 39.50, SPY 395. Anything that you can get down there below that 𝐂𝐀𝐋𝐋𝐒 286, you're in shopping mode. Wow. You guys really took it to the next level yesterday. But I tell you, your VIX is over here, and your VIX is saying, don't get too bullish. Don't get too bullish. You ate all the steak. Don't try and make steak out of the potatoes that are on the plate. I'll catch you guys in the chat room.